righty. Moving right on to show and tell. Caelan, why don't you kick us off then? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, your picture disappeared there briefly. Okay, we got you now.
So last meeting you said you wanted to see my ship painting.
Yes, yes.
I brought it with me, and since you wanted to see it, here it is so far right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's very nice.
That's very impressive.
It is the Empress of Ireland. It is a steamship that recently just sunk in 1914 after it was in a collision with another steamship. So far.
You said brought it with you. Are you on vacation somewhere?
Yeah, I'm in South Carolina visiting my grandma's house because school had just ended last week, and we decided to go see my grandma as a gift.
Oh,
Where in South Carolina?
And I am so far actually working on my very first wooden model ship right here. And this was actually a gift from David Chalmau. He thought this would be a great beginner's kit for me. So, Mr. Chalmau, if you're here, thank you for the ship model here. And I plan on having it finished by the end of 2025.
Very nice.
That is a good beginner's model. It's model shipways in this series, how to build a ship model.
What's the name of the boat?
Lowell Grand Bakes Dory.
Very good. Getting back to your painting real quick, what kind of medium are you using? Is it acrylic or?
Yeah, it's acrylic.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. All right, thank you, Caelan. All righty, Mort, do you have anything for us this month?
Yeah, I haven't done that much, but I finished rigging. I finished building the cannons. You can see them. I finished rigging building and rigging the cannons. I put linchpins on the wheels and the tampions in the front, and with the rear, the captain's area, I was able, I did his dining area, his bed place. The bed place has a wash, a shaving sink, shaving cabinet, a dresser, a couple of trunks, a hanging bed. His great cabin has a desk for him, 2 desks, one for the master, one for his clerk, a couple of chests, and a couple of trunks for his clothes. In addition to the sliding door to the sliding doors to the quarter galleries. And that's where I'm at so far. I have a build log on Model Ship World for this. You'd be able to get better views and better pictures. And that's about where I am. I'm not that happy with the workmanship. I'm having some issues, some physical issues with my hand, but it's the best I could do. But you'll see better pictures on Model Ship World. And that's where I'm at right now.
And how do we find that link on Model Ship World? What's the title?
Mort, Stoll, HMS Diana, or HMS Diana, Mort, Stoll. As of yesterday, I think it was on page 1 of the kit build logs from 1750 to 1801. If not, it's on page 2.
Before we move on to the next person, let me show something on that topic.
Yeah.
Of build logs.
All right, Mort, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, Greg's going to share something here real quick.
Good model, Mort.
Thank you.
Seeing the website now, Ryland?
Oh,
Oh.
I was looking for his,
All right, anyone online, can you tell me if you're seeing the website?
No,
No? Try again. Oh, I didn't hit the button. How about now?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. All right, so on our website, if you go to the About area, the muster book, this is the public information on the members of the club, minus phone numbers and addresses and things like that. In there, I've listed, if we know of them, people's model ship world links and personal website links. So like Gene has his own geneburgermodels.com, so there's a link to that. And then if I know of Model Ship World profile, it's listed there. And so you can see one for Dave and one for Ryland, one for Joseph. So if I don't have it for you and you want to share that, just please send me the link and I'll include it.
Perfect. Thank you. I will. Thank you.
Actually, you might even be able to do it yourself, but if you don't want to mess with your profile, I'm happy to do it for you.
Thank you.
All righty. Let me see if I can. Tom, how about you? Got anything for us today?
Nothing today. Was on vacation for almost 3 weeks, and now I'm involved with a group build at our local club that Ryland's well aware of. So not much done on the Argus. Hopefully next month or the month after.
Tom, can you show us your group build?
Give me 2 seconds. Let me go get it.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, we'll jump over to John real quick and come back to you. John, you got anything for us?
John Core?
Yeah,
He
he's,
doesn't have a speaker or camera.
oh, okay, he's just there. Okay.
That's not speaker, microphone or camera, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Annie's phone, I don't know who.
Maybe a hacker.
Why don't you ask Annie?
Who is Annie?
Any, how about, that's who?
John Berman.
Oh, okay,
I don't think so. Or since she's not, there's no video, it looks like. She's just listening.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Hello all, I'm here.
Ah. So do you have anything to share with us today?
Annie, you wanna introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Annie. I'm a park ranger at the Mariners Museum.
Oh,
Apologies if the audio is poor. I'm actually camping right now and it's kind of windy, but yeah, I have been meeting with John and Tim pretty regularly, and they got me set up with some supplies and tools. I've been working on a model shipways level 2, it's called Western Dinghy, I believe, or Midwest Dinghy. It's my first model. I'm about halfway to the finish line. I don't have any pictures of it at the moment, but I can definitely share next time.
oh,
That's awesome.
we'll look forward to it then.
Tell her we're gonna count this as her first meeting.
Because.
Yes, indeed. All right, Tom, you ready to go?
Spotlight.
Yeah. Let me get back a little bit.
Maybe if you,
Hold on, I gotta change my background.
yeah, exactly. You have blurred background.
Okay. I should be all right now. So this here, you can't really see. Okay, now you can.
I can.
All right. I'll take. All right, this here is gosh, why is it not focusing?
I think it's focusing on your face.
Yeah, I
put it
know.
on your face.
You got
Oh, I got an idea. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, that's better.
Hold on. All right. All right. This is the a battle station for the Speedwell, which is a kit that Chuck Pizarro is doing. Okay. And the homework assignment was to complete it to this situation here, and then we're doing tech sessions at the various meetings. Let me turn it around. Okay. And so I'm just about done with the part that's required to do the tech session. And I've finished the channel. Okay. That is going to go on the side of the hull. And then there's dead eyes with some chain plates that go as well. So what we're going to be working on at the next meeting is Chuck is going to show how to assemble a gun carriage. And then we're going to rig the gun carriage. And then this particular model has two figures, one of a crewman and one of a cat. So in August, we're going to be having a tech session to paint the figure to paint the figure. Okay, so all that's left to do on this is I've added the top fancy molding. There'll be a bottom fancy molding, and then there'll be some. Okay, that goes between the two fancy moldings. So I'm just about done with this part of the assignment. And it was pretty enjoyable. The engineering, as with all of Chuck's stuff, the engineering was excellent. And everything went together as it was supposed to go together. A few things that I changed around from the instructions that I'll explain at the tech session. But what we did is Chuck sent up a build log in text messages. So I've been sending progress photographs to the group, and Ryland's been getting them as well. So anyway, these hinges for the oar ports and also for the fancy molding, that's laser etched plastic, believe it or not. Okay, it's laser etched plastic. So. And the chain plates, the chains are also laser etched plastic, which is pretty interesting. And that's it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Doug, how many people are building this model at the same time?
Hold on, 15.
15. Wow, that's really cool.
So
Yeah,
Tom, you
yeah.
build the rest of the boat.
Wow.
The rest of the boat, Chuck is building the rest of the boat. What's interesting about it is it's 1:32, 3/8 inch to a foot, and it's a small catch rig sloop, but in 1:32, it's a huge model, and he's going to rig this thing too. So yeah, this is going to be a very large model, and in 1:32, obviously you show a lot of detail, like trunnels and all this stuff, stuff that in 1:96 I don't need to worry about.
Well, don't forget the shoelaces.
Hey, Tom.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to know, when do you sleep? I got
Excuse me?
Morning at 5:20 a.m.
When do I sleep?
Yeah, I got a text.
I average about 4.5 hours sleep a night, which is something that people are telling me I need to get better. I gotta fix. Yeah.
All righty, well, thank you, Tom. Okay.
You're welcome.
Anybody else online? I think we covered everybody.
Yep.
All righty, going in-house. You got something?
Well, it's basically the same thing Tom just said.
Oh.
You're not as far along.
Oh, I want to get set up for the 2-camera table thing. So give me a moment to get that squared away again.
Okay.
A couple of guests here just today.
Ah,
My
welcome.
son John and his wife Cheyenne are here with my granddaughter. They wanted to come in and watch my demonstration for the road.
Oh, cool. Welcome.
All right, so let me do a brief introduction. We're going to try a new format for show and tell, so that the speaker is always in view and the details of the model are always in view.
And we are not seeing that. They'll have to switch the speaker view on their end.
On their end.
On their end.
Okay. All right. How to tell them how to do that? Up in the upper right of your Zoom, there's something called View. Almost just to the left of where you'd close the whole thing. And you want to pick side-by-side speaker as your option.
All right, you folks online got that?
Yes.
Okay, good, good.
The idea is that the model will always be in view and the speaker will always be in view, because in the past, people would pick things up and drop them down and they'd be going in and out of view, and it was kind of a hassle. So, you know, unless there's some reason you can't, like the model's too big or too fragile or you're, yeah.
I was gonna say that they can shrink, right now, looking at it, you got a real big picture and a small speaker view, but if you take and put your cursor, you can shrink down your big picture to where both are the same size.
There's a slider bar in the middle. You get your cursor close to the edge and you'll see something that allows you to adjust it.
Just the size.
So if your model's too big or fragile, or your back's too fragile and you can't move, we'll accommodate you. But if you can, bring your model and put it here, stand in front of the speaker, and we'll be good. So we'll have the model being presented here. We'll have like the one that's on deck, and then everything else off to the side. And when you're done with your model, bring it back to the table with you. When it's not auction or grab box time, we'll have space on the side table. Just move it out so the next person can come in, and we'll cycle them through. So, who's up?
All right, I believe John has volunteered to be.
Yeah, his model's there, so no time at the present.
I said I'd go first so I can get the model out of there.
Yeah.
The rest of everyone.
All right.
And if you want to highlight something on the model, spin it around or ask me to adjust the camera or whatever.
Okay, well, I think you get a nice view of it right there. Feel like I'm teaching class now. I brought the lighthouse tender, Beech, in because it's about 1 day away from being completed. Finally got to that point. I wish I had a white piece of cardboard to put behind it here. So, but
I got a ledger size.
no, that'll look right there. The reason I wanted to do that is so that you can see how complicated the rigging.
There's one that doesn't have any printing on the back.
I'll just turn it around the other way. And what was neat about this, or I don't know if it was neat or efficient, but what was interesting about this was the boom and all that gear was all operated off of one winch that was located below deck. And there was the one lifting line, which is the top here, and then it winds around to the other one that went down. And then there's two others that come out down to right here, and then there's one on each side. That's for lifting the buoy out of the water. And then there was the smaller one that you see coming down to this hook here, which was for lifting light loads. But it was very cumbersome. And then there's two others, fingers in the way, lines here, that help slew the boom from side to side. And when you got to a certain point, you had to mount this point and bring it back to this eye here so that you could slew it off of the side of the ship and get it to work that way. Did I get that right, Hans? You're the crane man. And then, but that was difficult. And the first thing I had to set up were the 4 or the 6 stays for the A-frame. And then I could start rigging the rest of the lines. And then, of course, they all had to be snugged up sort of simultaneously at the end so that none of them looked overly slack, I guess. So that was kind of an interesting evolution to work through the order that it had to happen. And then if you come back further on the boat, let's move this back just a little bit. You can see I brought the boats in when they were under construction, but now you can see they're mounted on the deck and the falls are in place. And the grip bar and the pudding, all of that is there. And then if somebody asked about this mess of rope back here on the deck, and that's going to be for the final rigging. So the only thing that's left to do is to rig the ensign staff, the flag staff back here, put the name on the boat, and put draft marks on, and it'll be finished. So, 3 years of part-time, I guess, work finally paid off.
It's beautiful. Pretty.
Thank you.
All right, watch the cord there. All right, who else has something to show over there?
Mike is in the on-deck circle.
You want to? All right,
Sure.
go ahead.
Can you pull up PowerPoint, Craig?
And whoever wants to go after Mike can get staged if they want.
Just, I've shown these before, the longboat's finished. Just take a look at it, because I'm back to Georgia, I'll never come again. The 1200 scale Enterprise, whoops. 1200 scale.
It won't go that far, just need to slide your stuff down.
Well, this is just FYI. 1200 scale Enterprise in New Jersey. Said to Stuart, oh my gosh, the PowerPoint showed all the errors yesterday. He said, well, the video wasn't that good. But that was my experiment with dry brushing. So that's not really the subject today. The subject today is the Enterprise cross section. Excuse me, Constitution cross section. And
In front of the camera if you can.
the kit has a bottle of Jack.
We have another camera here.
The kit has a bottle of Jack Daniels on the label, which is really good for ship modeling. Calm you down. But it's the seaman only kit, and I was not all happy with it. I may end up just using the barrels, the guns, and the masts. The PowerPoint, please.
You didn't want to show that part?
Yeah, but I want to, the PowerPoint's building to that.
All right.
The ribs are laser cut, frames are laser cut.
Is this yours?
Yes. Plywood, and here's, I got a picture coming up. There's only 5 set of ribs across the length of the model, and a lot of big spacers, and I did not like that at all. I talked to a couple people here. Everybody said, "No, just do it as the kit." I started pulling it together, and I was like, "Nah, this isn't gonna cut it for me." So I went against the advice and made my own frames. There are 3 and 4 piece frames. I'll pass them around in a minute. And this is the actual spacing of the frames. And if you could hold it up to a light, you'll see why she was so strong. There is very little space between the frames.
Greg, we didn't see.
Didn't see what?
It's not broadcasting.
Showing in the camera, you just over to.
Yeah, because he asked me to.
Yeah.
He said
I'm saying that online, it's not, this is not showing up.
No,
You know, you gotta have to share it.
I
Unshare
just
it,
shared the
share it again.
desktop. Yeah, you can. Share screen. I'm not seeing it. Oh, you know, it's the slideshow. This is a PowerPoint thing. You might be able to, if I share the app, it might work. Let me try that, and if not, we'll just not use the slideshow.
There's a PDF also.
No, I can go through the PowerPoint, just not using the slideshow feature.
Okay, this one. This, so I did actually use 2 of the frames to make a template. But I'm not going to use them for the model. I actually may be able to use the cutouts from here for my inside and outside shaping, and use this actually, this curve. See it on your screen.
Not advanced.
Okay, all right. Improvise. That picture.
We just have it broadcast.
Yeah, okay. So that's how the hull is supposed to be made. And I just build it up and put these big spacers in there, and it just didn't work for me. So next picture. My improvised thickness planer, this sander with a board. I was trying to make the frames 0.1475 of an inch thick. I realized shortly thereafter that carrying to even the thousandth was stupid. So they're somewhere in that 0.145 range. Next. Details. Initially, I was cutting my sections by cutting out either side of a heavy paper copy of the instructions and drawing in the what I needed to cut out. Eventually, I switched to cutting out the paper and just laying it on a piece of board and tracing it. The thickness of the pencil should have been oversized enough to give me some play, but I ended up making them even more oversized because I was getting alignment issues. Next, please. And the auction saw worked really good for cutting out the frames. I started with the bandsaw and found out that I break a lot of blades using the Proxxon saw with a standard blade, and they're way too expensive to break a lot of blades. So I switched to the scroll saw. Next. And assembling them, I had a paper template and I lay it out.
That is working now. So
And I originally started cutting the notches with a Dremel, and I realized how dangerous and stupid that was. Plus, sometimes the Dremel would saw blades go around, and I now have a damaged section, so I would say don't ever do that. But lay them out, cut the knot, and get it as tight a joint as I can. Glued it with Next super glue. And then next, please. Right. Oh. Don't ever do this. I didn't cut my fingers, but this is what I was doing in 1975 as a kid when I didn't have many tools. And I was really surprised that Dremel still sells that blade. because it is really dangerous. I bought some more on Amazon, and they were actually bigger diameter than that, which is even more dangerous. So don't do what I did. Tack the drawing to the frame, and then another auction tool. I use the sanding to get it to the rough shape. That's what the char marks on this are, is the disc sander. Most of it, a lot of it's going away already. The rest of it should mostly go away by the time I'm shaping the hull. Constitution had double and triple frames, and if you hold this up to look at it when the lights are on, you'll see double, triple, single, double, whatever. So I assembled the double and triple frames with medium binder clips or small binder clips for the doubles, using the frame I made up from the kit as my alignment tool. And then I sanding and filing to the alignment tool. And then ready to start stacking them up and assembling them. So I built it this way, built it vertically. And the spacing was 0.05 of an inch. So I got a piece of mahogany that was pretty darn close to that, and used those as spacers as I built it up. I may eventually, once I've added more support to it, I may cut those out. I may leave them in. I'm debating leaving one side unplanked or a section of one side unplanked, and maybe a British cannonball partially embedded in the other side, because she is old iron side. The spacers were put in with tight bond quick injection. So yeah, feel free to handle it. It's really strong.
He was asking why it's blank. It's because he reached the end.
Feel free to handle it. It's really strong. Hold it up to the light. Check out the spacing and why she was so strong. There's actually if you go to the Battleship Olympia, it's a separate charge to go into the cruiser Olympia in Philadelphia. There's a separate charge to go to the museum next door, and they have a cross section that is 3 to 4 foot wide on the main aisle. That is pretty cool. We don't have room for that in our house, right, honey? No. 4 foot by 6 foot model. But yeah, and then improvised tools, dowel from Lowe's with sandpaper on it, blocks with sandpaper on it, and I've got a lot of fairing to do for it. So there's I used 5 and 7 section frames. So here's you see these 7s from the ends, and every other one is alternated, so you don't have you have 2 frames together, you don't have a weak point where the joints are staggered. Yeah. So, feel free to handle it. It's nice and strong.
My question.
Yeah.
I know you said you didn't like that Maloon brand. Any suggestions about which one to do?
No, I don't. Well, you saw why I didn't like the frames. I suspect when I pull out the planking is going to be too thin for the scale of the model. So I'm probably going to have to substitute that wood out. There's no knees or diagonal riders in the kit, and I want to have at least a knee at one end of the model or the other, or knees, and probably a diagonal rider. So I may end up just using the barrels of guns and the mass.
Or every deck beam has some knees.
Yeah.
I have to have some.
So I did see one of the build logs that said build the decks from the bottom up. So I'm probably going to do that. I'll probably plank the inside, build the hull, put the next deck on, get my cannons in and rigged and my knees, and then work my way up from the bottom on the interior.
Very good.
All right. Anything else over here? Sean?
Some of this, yes, yeah.
It's overheated.
We want to do another, like, USB presentation while we're waiting for that to warm up.
People in
Well,
the room won't see it.
the people in the room won't be able to see it. It's just us.
Oh, right.
We're still,
Right.
we're still broadcasting. It's just in-house, so.
Okay.
It'll pop up here in a moment.
So, started working on the rudder assembly for the Winchelsea. So this is sort of out of sequence from the build. I'm still working on the trunnels for the port side, but then as I was reading ahead in the build cycle, they talk about when you get later in the build, after you get the interior deck done, you got to flip the model back over and cut the hole for the rudder in the stop or in the upper counter. And I didn't want to do that once I had the deck in place. Since it's already on the power arm, I can rotate it where I want to and cut the hole. So in the process, I started building the rudder. It came up the way he's designed the kit. It fits like a glove, and it's just a little bit of sanding to get the tapers in. I did deviate from his build sequence. Instead of just gluing on representations of the rudder stock, or the tiller arm, I actually drilled out the hole, squared them up, and I will have the lower tiller arm in place on the model. And then the pintles, he uses laser cut wood that you sand down to create the pintles. I actually made mine out of brass and then blackened them. So I still have 2 more to do. I still have the reinforcing rings to do above the tiller arms, but that's what I put together for the rudder stop.
Can you put it in front of that camera for the sake of the people online?
I'm sorry. So I just used Blue Jacket sells brass blackening.
They still sell that?
I don't know. I still have a bottle of it, so that's what I've been using. So trial and error. So I've had to dip them several times. But somebody mentioned when I was doing the siren model, somebody had mentioned that, I was using it straight out of the bottle. Somebody said to dilute it. So I did actually dilute it, and that worked far, far better. But the trick is to really, really clean the brass. So, so I do about 800 grit emery cloth to scuff it up. And then I washed it with just standard Dawn dishwashing soap. And then I dipped it into the diluted and then rinsed it off when I was done.
I've also used stuff from at Gunsmith to use for blackened my brass.
I got some in a free grab bag a few weeks ago. I haven't tried it yet.
That works pretty good. And then I clean my brass with a chemical ash for metal, and it's got a little bit of acid in it, so that it gets in all the good, it's a complex piece. It gets in all the nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
We use high strength vinegar
I use
too.
acetone. I bought some online.
That works too.
Yep.
Great.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
It's cheap. Nail polish remover. I sent the nail polish remover.
Still not up. Okay. All right, but that's my rudder stock.
Yeah, we're broadcasting online. We just can't see it here for some reason. We're gonna have to let it cool down, I guess.
For those who
Excuse me, could I see it?
Absolutely.
All right, who has something else to share? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on just a second.
Also,
I've got some stuff to share that you won't need to be on the screen, because I can show it online and then just pass it around.
Well, if this doesn't work, then what I suggest is we just take a 5-minute break, let the system cool down, reboot it completely.
Yeah, well, I can show my stuff online and then pass it around, so it doesn't need to be on the screen. It's like books and.
It's trying to warm up. It says warming up, so hopefully it'll come back on.
We reset the system. See, it started with one blue light day, you got another blue light that's fading, but it's getting brighter.
Oh, thank you.
All righty, for those of you online, we're gonna take a few minutes here just to kind of reboot the system, and then we'll continue in just a.
Before we take a break,
Yeah.
let me show my stuff.
Yeah,
It
okay.
doesn't need to be on the screen.
Okay, go ahead. All righty, Greg, why don't you do that?
All right, so I've spent 2 or 3 years doing research and getting only about 65% of the way through my first model, and I'm already working on. No, I tried to stop it. All right, let me start over. So yeah, I've spent 3 years on my current model, and I'm only about 65% of the way through the hull, let alone everything else. And I'm already starting to work on the next one. Nothing like getting ahead of yourself. For a long time, I've been wanting to do some sort of early 1900s steamship as my next project. And then I decided that I could do both a, is that for my sake?
Yeah, so you can see what you do.
Thanks. I can do a ship model and a railroad model at the same time if I do a rail ferry. And I stumbled across some pictures on the Danish Maritime Museum's website when I was doing research for my current model that of a steam ferry that was, a lot of photographs were taken while it was being scrapped. So there's, not enough to put detail everywhere, but a lot more detail than you're normally going to find. So this is a profile view. There we go. Profile view of the ship. And
Craig,
deck plans, yep.
you see nothing.
I know you can't, but I'm going to pass these around when I'm done, because since the screen's not working. So this is for the sake of people online, and then I'll pass them around. Mid-ship section, alliance plan. Unfortunately, these weren't available on free. The photographs of the ship were, but the plans I had to pay them to scan and send to me digitally. This is blown up about 1.5 times, so you can see the details really good. Anyway, I'll pass those around.
Is this what you're doing in Norway?
I was in Denmark, but this really didn't have anything to do with my trip. This was something I started asking people about a while back. And this also had nothing to do with our trip. This is a painting of some Danish fishing boats, but it was actually purchased, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago at an art shop in Matthews, Virginia. I don't know who the artist, well, I know who the artist is, it's written there, but I don't know what his connection to Denmark is. Maybe he was just traveling. And then this is a small guidebook from the Viking Ship Museum that we visited. This is a book on all of the boats in the collection of the museum that I purchased in the gift shop. And then when we were at the Stoll Maritime Museum, they had a large collection of used books for sale. And this one is on votive ships in churches. So it's quite common for them to hang a model of a ship, might be crudely made, might be nicely made. hang it in the ship, and it's bring our sailors home kind of thing. So I'll pass those around to share. Yep. The Viking Ship Museum in Roskilde is about a half an hour west of Copenhagen.
That's in Denmark.
Yeah. That's all I had.
All right.
Actually, yeah. All I
Anyone
have.
else have something that they can show while we're letting this projector cool off?
And show. All right, I'm going. First thing I want to show is. If y'all saw Tom's battle station, well, this is my battle station.
When I set it down, I can lower this.
No, y'all can't see it, but it's up here and this is the work I've done on mine. Tom's a lot farther along than what I am. I'm probably close to a week behind him.
You sleep too much though.
Yeah.
People helping him, doesn't he?
Since I started this, my honey-do list has gotten bigger and bigger. It always happens that when I start something like this, I get a honey-do list. Plus, I got some problems at home with the leaky pipes and stuff like that. All this started, but this has been a fun project. Like Tom said, it's well designed by Chuck Massaro, and it's really nice. He even put a little inscription on the back. It says a limited edition kit designed by Chuck Massaro, Siren Ship Model Company for the Ship Model Society of New Jersey, May, June of 2025. And it's been a fun project, and everything here is hand painted, and it'll go together really quick after getting. There was a lot of sanding that had to be done because we had to thin all of the pieces out, and plus it has a tumble home here that needed to be, the shape had to be kept, but it was really a lot of sanding that had to be done to get that shape. Now, one thing that this is, the wood is yellow cedar, and I know, Sean, you've worked with the yellow cedar.
Yeah, actually,
Well, you have
cherry.
Okay. And I know the Speedwell kit, which this is part of just a little section out of the Speedwell kit, that's in yellow cedar. And I found that it has a tendency when you sand in the laser char off, it gets into the wood. And so what I've been doing is I've been taking this white eraser, and this really cleans off that laser char right before you put a coat of wipe on poly. So if you're ever working on a model and you know that some of the char gets on your wood and it kind of like stains the wood or gets in it, just take one of these white erasers. Don't use a pink one, because I've tried that one time before, and it kind of leaves a pink color to the wood. But this, I think this is a brand name that's very popular in mechanical drawing, and that will clean that laser char off and clean your wood up. So, I just thought I'd pass that tip on.
Well, why didn't you put that on the text? That's a great tip.
Yeah, if you get the laser char on and you want to, I was surprised at how dirty. You start rubbing it, across.
A couple of those at home. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, it used the white, and I think I bought this and it came like a 3-pack. I probably got 2 others that haven't even been used yet, but it does a good job.
Ryland Curatorial uses those, and they call them dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners, yes. When I went back, when I went up to the Joint Clubs Conference back in New Jersey at the end of April, I took my Medway longboat, and they have a judging competition that they have, the Jim Roberts Award, and Tom can. Jim Roberts was a member of the Ship Model Society in New Jersey and a very accomplished modeler. I think he was a plank owner of the Ship Model Society in New Jersey. Yeah, they have an award that they present. And I was fortunate enough that my Medway longboat, let me turn this around. Was judged, and I was presented this award here. And it just says, the Ship Model Society of New Jersey presents the Jim Roberts Award for Excellence in Ship Modeling to Ryland Craze for the model of the Medway Longboat 1742, scale 1 to 24, awarded on April 26, 2025 at the Northeast Joint Club Ship Modeling Conference, New London, Connecticut. And I was really quite honored to have received this award because for years I've seen other modelers get this award, and I thought, man, they really turned out some good work, and to be considered in that same class with them, it really was quite an honor. So I'll just set this aside, but it's something I'll always cherish.
Well done, Ryland.
That's all I've got to show.
All righty. Anyone else have something that they'd like to share that we could work with this limitation?
Happy birthday to John Cheevers. That's what Facebook says.
We need to start putting birthdays in the law.
I suggested that once and I got shot down really fast.
Here is a frame that was left on the table from last month. So is anybody missing? Is that Dave? Okay, so it probably was just
It was in the computer bag. I don't know.
yeah. I think he made a bunch of these, so it's probably not. Yeah.
All right.
All right, well then, okay.
Caelan, are you still online?
Caelan.
Caelan?
Yes, I'm still online.
There.
Okay. I bought you a present now. It's a Goodwill store in St. Mary's, Georgia. And this LED Queen Anne's Revenge pirate ship model. I was bought it for you. I was going to give you today, but since you're not here, Greg, will you hold it for next meeting?
All righty, very good.
And I'd like to say one more thing.
All right, we're going to take a few minutes here. Kevin's going to set up his presentation on cable and line making on the rope walk, and hopefully we'll get our projector up and running again. So, take 5.